Hi guys, hope we're well. Welcome back to Rugby to Romaniacs. I'm here. The bike has been running. We've done about an hour and a half on the bike. Done a couple of changes, but before we go into full extreme mode, we have got a round of the British Championship next weekend. Not ideal preparation because I do have a stag do this weekend with one of my old rugby buddies, a good mate of mine, which I have to attend, which isn't great prep, but in the middle of our training. But yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we'll have to make up at the back end. But I'm just going to run you through a couple of tweaks and changes that we've done to the bike. Some changes that I'm going to do moving forward. But really, I'm going to try and keep this bike as standard as I can, just by putting a couple of the bits that I always use on my bikes and stuff that I, just personal preference stuff, basically. But today we're going to be setting the bike up at one of my friend's tracks. We've spent a lot of time here testing, especially for the grass and some special test stuff. So today we're here getting the bike dialed in, ready for next weekend's British Championship. So we're going to change a tyre, get a harder tyre on now. You can see we're in typical Welsh grass. The ground is hard and we've had about 2 days of rain, so it will be slippy. And it's been a while since I've ridden a two-stroke on grass. The last one was 2019. I think I had the last of the carb KTMs, which was a 252 stroke as well, and I love that bike. So hopefully we can get this one somewhere near there. But I'm going to run you through a couple of bits and bobs that we've done just to get this bike a little bit more familiar. So first things first, the standard bars have come off. I always run a Renthal 999, sort of changed to that in sort of 2020, maybe 2019. I was running a 996, but I've gone a little bit flatter and we've gone a 999. With these mounts, I would say is a little bit low for me, so I think we're going to go with the X-Trig mounts just to raise it up a little bit. But in terms of the bar bend itself, I like a 999. I found the standard pegs, only spent 2 hours on the bike, but having been used to like a titanium peg, we've had a set of Raptor pegs that just give me a bit more sort of feel and keep my feet a little bit more planted with a titanium peg. So we've had the Raptor pegs and I found myself slipping terribly on the standard seat, and I've spoke over the years in detail about my struggles with arm pump coming from a different sport. I find that unless I have a good quality gripper seat, I'm moving back and forth off the bike. Some people like that, but I like to be sort of fixed, especially when I need to be fixed, and that just helps me free up the arms a little bit. Then I'm going to run a solid, haven't got it at the moment, I'm going to run a solid rear disc. We need to go up a spring rating on the back. We're going to go up a spring rating on the front as well. Steve Plain has run his magic with the jetting. That seems to be running really well. He runs it rich to begin with, I know. We've come out half a turn on the air screw just to clean it up a little bit, and that seems to be perfect. But like I said, guys, I don't want to be messing around too much with this bike. This is one bike that I'm going to keep as standard as possible. We're going to put an AXP sump guard on as well, just so it comes and covers the linkage. And the other thing that I found with it, especially with it being a 250, there's some like gnarly climbs and some big uphills by my house, which I'm pretty familiar with, and this was struggling to pull second. And looking at the gear in there, we're running a 14 on the front, so I probably change that to a 13. We're going to run it as it is today, but yeah, I like to carry a gear higher, second, third, so we're going to go down to a 13 and maybe a 50 on the rear. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. And just obviously standard changes with regards to the grip. We're running the new Renthal lock-on grips. I got relatively small hands, so I like to have a good grip on the bar, and I just find that having no waffle and the softer compound grips just helps me with that. And basically that is it. So stay tuned, guys. Today we're going to run a load of special tests. We're going to do the sag, get the bike set up, change a tyre, and see where we're at on the grass. So let's get into it. That is the first proper day testing done. And what I said at the start of the video, yeah, 100%, we are going to go down a tooth on the front for sure. Even on this fast flowy, grassy test, there's a bit of a motocrossy test as well. Just really struggling to pull third, and on a 252 stroke, I do feel as if you should be pulling third on the flatter corners. And yeah, coming out of some of the tighter stuff, you know, I was finding clutching it, but yeah, we'll get used to the power. But again, just the suspension coming under braking, the standard springs at like 90 kilos or whatever I am. She's diving in on the front, and then I'm losing a bit of traction, and that fork is sat deeper in the stroke, not holding me up. So I didn't have much confidence on the front, but on the other hand, it is very, very hard beneath, and we've had a day of rain here, which has made that top sort of inch or two absolutely deadly. And it is deadly here anyway, unless we've had a full winter of rain where, you know, it goes deep down into the belly of it. It is deadly here. So not a true reflection. I'm a little bit frustrated really. And I've kept the standard tyre that comes from the factory on, which is never going to give you a true representation of the bike, because those front Maxxis tyres that come standard aren't the best. So back to the drawing board. We're going to get some new springs in it, get the shock spring done as well. In terms of the valving, it's very difficult for me to say where the valving is. This is flat. You know, the track is flat and what have you, but I don't feel as if I'm going to mess about with the valving too much. But really important for me to keep that bike up higher a little bit, because I feel as if I'm going to kill myself hitting some things. But all in all, I think, you know, that's my second time on it, and I think I'll get the grips with it quite quick. You know, the power delivery is lovely. The motor's lovely. The bike feels so light, and the ability to turn it is nice. Just a few tweaks now, and we'll be there or thereabouts. But looking forward to going into the British Championship next weekend. We're going to be documenting the whole process on that, so stay with us. And again, make sure you like and subscribe, comment on the video below, and we'll see you at the next one. Thanks, guys.